a little girl from Texas and her own battle with health insurance. She's only 12 years old. Her name is Alexis Shapiro. She developed a very rare disorder after having brain surgery. She had a tumor removed, and that disorder caused her to gain massive amounts of weight, as much as 2 pounds a week, even though her body thinks it's starving. Doctors say that gastric bypass surgery is the only thing that can help the nearly 200-pound girl now. And the U.S. military, which provides her family with its health insurance, says it won't pay for the procedure, gastric bypass, because she's too young. So her life is truly at stake. Let's bring in Kirsten Wilson, a trial attorney, and Bob Massey, a Fox News legal analyst. One story after another, guys. Two little girls whose lives are in danger, one considered not to even have a life at this point by the medical experts. In this particular case, Bob, what are the options for this family if the military-provided health insurance says we won't pay for gastric bypass surgery and it's our only hope?
I went on the website, Jamie, to see what the appeals process is with TRICARE, and apparently there is what they call an expedited process, where if within 3 days of the denial letter, if they file the appeal, then TRICARE, through their administrator, Humana, has to get back to them, basically affirming or rejecting, giving them a reconsideration. If they don't do that, then obviously there's things they could do. But it seems to me, procedurally, the only thing that would be left after that is try to get into some kind of federal court action to see if a judge would consider some type of injunctive relief.
Kirsten, this is even before Obamacare. So there's a private insurance company, and they can make these decisions. And yes, this family can appeal, because this little girl who's now put on all this weight has developed type 2 diabetes. She has to take daily insulin. There's a cost involved there, too. Should they not be able to look at exceptional circumstances, and do you think they will?
They absolutely should. I mean, this is a little girl that has a side effect from the brain tumor surgery, and it's an exceptional disease. It doesn't happen very often. I think the statistics are about 1 in a million children have the brain tumor and then develop this problem with their hypothalamus gland. These are exceptional circumstances, and the insurance company should act upon it. I know Bob had mentioned the expedited process, but a lot of times insurance companies only consider expedited in cases where it's a life-threatening illness. The appeals process, the federal court process, these are all things that are going to take time. And as you stated in the opening segment, this is a little girl that's putting on 2 pounds per week, and she's 4'7". I mean, the time is an issue.
Let me show you both, and let me show our audience, because I found this story today, and I really wanted to tell it because, as we heard in the Jahai case, 2 facilities, one apparently, according to the family, is backed out now, offered to take care of this little girl. We're hoping maybe someone will come forward for this one as well. Let's take a look at her before this weight gain caused by this disorder. This is a little girl, normal little girl, able to participate in activities, and right now her family has her on a 900-calorie-a-day diet and daily exercise, and still she has put on this weight and gained diabetes now, which she has to deal with, and can't have this surgery. Hopefully someone will help Bob. But you know what I find interesting as a lawyer, Bob? It costs a lot of money to take these insurance companies to court. And the insurance company will say, if you appeal and we deny, you always have the action you can take in court. But these families, including Jahai's, they maybe can't afford it.
That's the problem, and that's why, hopefully, I've got to believe there's lawyers out there, that there are, that will step up to the plate and I think, in fact, get to a federal judge quickly, because again, under this expedited procedure, Jamie, under the TRICARE, there is a three-day response back that they have to do. If they miss that, that gives them something. But the other thing I think that Kirsten mentioned that's very important, that's this. The causation here is important. This was as a result of a benign tumor that caused this condition now to occur. This is not because of somebody who overeats. This is not because of somebody who has bad vices. There's causation there. I think a federal judge could look at this and look to irreparable harm, and you could probably get there pretty quick for purposes of having some type of review for this young girl.
And Kirsten, you know what's interesting in the other case, Jahai, and in this one too, the hospital's not under any obligation to do anything.
Yeah, no, the hospital's not under an obligation, and so the family is left paying into insurance and thinking that in exceptional circumstances, the insurance company is going to have their back. and they don't in this circumstance. And as Bob just mentioned, this isn't sticking to their guidelines about gastric bypass when somebody's over 18, and that's when they'll review it. This is because of a medicinal procedure that this little girl is suffering both physically and mentally while the insurance company is going through their policies. I do think it's important to note when you talked about how they're going to cover it. I did read that the family has started a website, and they're trying to do it on their own. But really, should the family be in that position when they thought insurance was going to cover this?
Well, it's very expensive to have the surgery. There's aftercare as well. I'm glad we're telling the story. Alexis Shapiro is the little girl's name. She's from Texas. Certainly, if there are people out there that want to help, I know our audience is very generous, and we will follow the case and let you know what is happening. This is her now. Thanks, guys, so much.